All right, welcome everyone. Great to have you. Thank you for logging in, and sure all places around the world. Excited to have you here for our Global User Seminar. My name is Jon Greene. I'm a client success manager at EON Reality. I work with our institutional clients in the implementation, onboarding, in product adoption of our platform. So we have an exciting webinar here that I'm going to show you, and I have my colleague Karthik with me. So Karthik, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, John. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you all here today. I'm Karthik. I'm from EON Reality Singapore office, and I manage the project deliveries and platform rollouts within the Asia Pacific region. Nice to see you all here today. Thank you, John.
Great. So here's the agenda for today. I'm really excited to share the EON-XR platform, the new features we've just launched, the 9.0 version. We'll go over those features today, and I'll actually give you a product demonstration, give you a live walkthrough the platform and highlighting what's new in the platform from a student perspective, looking at that content from a user perspective, also from a creation perspective, what is new in the creation tool. We'll do that platform demonstration, then I'll hand it over to Karthik to go over the other platform, AR Assist, and give you a sneak preview of that platform. So very exciting stuff here. We're excited to share this content with you today. So the 9.0 version just got released. Just want to back up and kind of look in the rearview mirror and look what led us here to the 9.0 release. And we've had the version 8 mini instances come out over the last year here, and it really has laid the foundation for the 9.0 and beyond. Previous versions have been building up. Our product team has done lots of tweaks in the back end and really preparing this platform, making it the ease of use, the self-service tools, the creation of the lessons, all have been the preparation for this launch. And really we focused in on the performance and the responsiveness of the platform. And all this has been connected into this 9.0 release. So shout out to our development team for really working hard in getting this release out. You've seen a lot of updates so far, such as the 360 photo express through the cell phone, able to upload 360 photos. We've seen things such as additional languages being popped into the tools there on the text to speech. So lots of improvements. And many improvements in the whole process, from I would say, importing to reporting, which includes everything from importing assets to building out your lessons, designing your experiences, to publishing, and then to reporting on what you've seen. So lots of great stuff that's led up to this moment. So really excited to share the highlights of our 9.0 and what to look out for as you're using the platform. First thing you'll notice is just the interface is different, much smoother look and feel to it. As we'll see here in a second, as I navigate with my device here, we'll look at that interface, how that has been upgraded. Actually, the visual qualities as well, lots of enhancements there. And all this is possible because we've really done a rewrite of our platform. The EON platform has been rewritten to be more responsive, more stable, and secure. Which really leads the bedrock for future innovations, which are only going up from now. And all this is because we've switched our engine over to a Unity-based engine. And this is going to give us all the technology available to really see lots of improvements going forward. So really excited. This is only the beginning. That Unity engine really gives us that opens the door to a lot of possibilities going forward. I'll show you on the admin side, we've revamped that page. We changed some things around to make it more easy as you launch your users, launch licenses, organize your groups. Also on the Oculus, lots of exciting enhancements there. If you're connecting with the Oculus Quest, things you can do with the assets, how you can interact with those assets. It's available on the App Lab. Very exciting there, making it very easy to download that app and access it right through your Oculus Quest. Also, very excited to announce it is available on a Mac. So that's a great upgrade there, where Mac users now can edit lessons. Before they're only able to view, but now they can edit. And all of these new enhancements really tie into some of these features that have been improved. Things like the importing of 3D assets. I'll touch on that and how you can import assets into the platform. We're also able to look at the dashboard, the marketplace dashboard. If you're using credits to purchase assets from the marketplace, I'll show you how we can access that place. Now you have a dashboard. You can track the assets you've been purchasing. The XR meetings is make it very collaborative for you to connect with other learners in your institution. And also the playlist I was showing you, very easy to organize your lessons into a well, clean, organized playlist for your learners and your administrators and your content creators to put those lessons into a nice organized list. So with that, let's dive right in. So I'm going to get out of the slideshow now. Just going to minimize here, and I'm going to slide my device right in there. So you're looking at a live shot of my cell phone device. And I'm just going to navigate using my cell phone here. And right now I'm inside of a lesson, and we're looking at a 4-stroke engine. As you can see, the new look and feel, I'm able actually to move the model around from left to right. Much more responsive now with this new version. You still have all your interactive tools on the left-hand side. You can look at those annotations. You can expand that model in different ways. You can look at that X-ray vision. And also there's that animation bar. So if it includes any sort of animation or movement, you'll be able to see it in this area. Now your lesson tools there are on the right-hand side. So as a content creator, when you're creating your lessons, this is how the learners will experience. You can move that model to the side, go through your lessons, and as a creator, you'll have the combination of audio, video, and as you build out this lesson. So here is one example of the audio.
A 4-stroke engine is an internal combustion engine in which the piston completes 4 separate strokes while turning the crankshaft.
Okay, and then we have a video. So this is a really great feature here.
The piston moves on its first downward stroke. The intake valve opens to allow a mixture of air and fuel to fill the combustion chamber. This is called the intake stroke.
So as you can see now, learners have a side-by-side view of the videos that you add. As they listen into the videos, they can continue exploring, look at that model in different ways as they learn right from that side-to-side view, making it really intuitive and easy to use for those learners. Also the ability there to learn to create in other languages. So here's in Spanish.
Es un motor de combustión interna que precisa 4 carreras del pistón para completar el ciclo termodinámico de combustión.
So that's available. And as you create lessons now on the cell phone, you'll be able to do that text-to-speech format. So that's something new where you can input a text and select a language. So giving you the ability there to create multilingual content. As you can see, learners will go through the lesson and also have these activities that the locate, identify that there. So there's a locate activity. So I could just locate a component right there. Then I have an identify, where I type in the answer. I can overlay a quiz. When I click on quiz, you can see it's to the right now, and I can still move that model around as I partake in that quiz. Okay, the cylinder block. So really intuitive ways there that we can interact with that. And then we can record our voices, just like we've done before, and listen into what we're seeing.
I'm describing to you the first step of the intake stroke. First of all, the piston moves down towards the bottom of the chamber. This increases the volume to allow a fuel-air mixture to enter into the chamber.
There's an example. And now we can switch from different modalities. So let's give a live shot here of my desk. I'm going to put this in AR mode. I'm going to come back there, upper left-hand corner, where we're going to see the grid. Now I'm just going to place that motor. Now here's the exciting part with the new features, the physical base rendering features here on the platform. You can see the real-time shadow effects as I slowly turn, how that light reflects off the source. Now I see a shadow on my desk of that environment right there on my desk. So just giving that much more realistic look and feel. Again, your learners will be really engaged, maintain that curiosity level. But look at that reflected source. So all this is part of the 9.0 and then available because of that Unity-based engine that we have now. But then you have all your interactive tools. I can still continue my lessons on the right-hand side. So we can look at the videos as I'm in an AR mode. So lots of great ways there. I can continue learning here and walk around this model.
Downward stroke. The intake.
So right there's that look. And I also can flip on over to a VR mode and get that VR experience with the headset, the goggles I can slip on my cell phone. I can get that VR experience right from my cell phone device. Again, all my interactive tools are located here. So fit right there in the middle and easily flip back. Again, I never leave the lesson. I can switch from these different modalities, but still stay in the same lesson. So as you see this new version, very nice look and feel, very responsive. These lessons on the right-hand side make it really nice to get that side-by-side comparison. And the students will, and the learners will always be engaged with these new features here. So as I exit, you can see now the activities that I've completed. So lots of enhancements here in terms of tracking and reporting. Now I can see how many activities I completed of the total amount. So I'm going to exit the lesson, and this will bring me back to that home page of my lesson. And right here at the scroll down at the bottom, you'll also be able to track the statistics of how I did. So if I scroll down, I can see the number of times I completed this lesson, what was my score, total time. So all this content will be available. And again, you can as a content creator, personalize this lesson by adding the objectives. You can overlay a link, and this will go to maybe a PDF, a Word document, a PowerPoint. I can download this lesson offline right up here in this button. You continue learning offline, and even start a live meeting, which I'll show you a video on this in a second. So I can share this code with other people. We can log in at the same time and get that collaborative experience. Great, with that, I'm gonna slide this right here, and I'm going to open up the actual desktop application and just walk you through some scenarios where we're creating lessons now. So right now I have the 9.0 version. So if you have not downloaded the new version, I'll just show you really quickly where to go. You come up to the very top, downloads. And right here, if you're using a Windows or a Mac base, this is where you'll have the new version. The previous version is still available down at the bottom, but right here is where you'll find the new version to download to see all of these features we're showing. So let's go ahead and create a lesson. So what this experience will be like. At the very top, we'll go ahead and click on Create, and this will bring me to my library section, where I'll be able to select an asset. And right here, you'll still have those options, either import your own assets. If you have your own CAD files, your own 3D models that you want to import into your tool, the import section is on the right here. Once we go to import, still have that panel where you can drag your files into this section. Right on the lower left-hand side, you click on here, find out all the file types we work with. So you can see what files we can able to import into the tool. The popular ones, FBX, OPJ, Max. So you can see that. And then we have your import panel, where you'll be able to track your assets that you've imported, set the thumbnail. And once your asset is in there, anyone will be able to take that and build a lesson experience around that. So a lot of enhancements around this panel to be able to track the import process. So once you have your asset, I'm going to select a keyword here. I'm going to put in the word lungs. And let's just go through the process of building out this experience and what some of the new changes you'll see as part of the lesson creation process. So right here, I have lots of different options in terms of lungs. Of course, as you scroll down, you'll be connected into the marketplace, where you'll be able to use marketplace credits to make purchases of additional assets. EON has relationships with many third-party companies, one of them being CG Trader, allows us to link into that database and over 1 million assets in the marketplace, where you can click on an asset and use marketplace credits to make these purchases. Once that is uploaded and part of your library, anyone can take that. You can make it public within your institution and use that asset. Let me click right here quickly on the marketplace just to touch on this. Some of the new features and enhancements. Once you click on an asset, you make that purchase of credit. We actually have this My Order section where you'll be able to track that import process. Once it's ready to go, is it still on conversion status? Is it awaiting conversion fee? Is it pending delivery? Every step of the way, you'll be able to track that, see how many credits you have allocated to you. So that's that section. Let's go right in here to the lungs, and let's get into the lesson building section. So right here, immediately you can start customizing this experience for your learners. You can tag a category. Let's go here and click on Build Lesson. So as this pops up, I'm going to slide that lesson bar to the right. You can see the quick load speed now that we have. That bar just went zipped on through. And now here we have the lesson creation space. In all your tools here, left-hand side, just like the previous version. But some changes now. Now we look at this model and we can start mapping out our lesson sequence and flow based on the different categories we select. So right now I can see kind of asset, how this comes apart. So there's the trachea. If I click on the down arrow and I click on that plus symbol, now I have all those elements that I had on the right-hand side in the previous version. Now they're located within each one of the teaching points that come with that model. And we can left click and create our own teaching points. But now we can start building out this lesson. So we have the audio component. And we have two different options now. Either can record my own voice, an audio component, or you still use that text-to-speech format where we can type in a text here, do an example, and then we can select a language. So if I type it in a different language, I'll be able to select that language. From here to US, I can select my voice type and hit preview.
The trachea, also known as the windpipe, is a cartilaginous tube that connects the larynx to the bronchi of the lungs, allowing the passage of air. The trachea extends from the larynx.
Okay, so the audio section, video, very simple to use. I can have overlay a video that I take a link and cut and copy and paste a link into this section right there, hit save. And what's great about this, once I hit save there, once this loads, I'll be able to preview the video right within my lesson. So it was before we just click the link and I wouldn't be able to see it, but within here, I would be able to preview that video in this section. So that's another change that we've made, makes it really handy. And then again, the locate, the quiz, identify, you can overlay those activities right there within that section. So if I go to identify, there's the identify the trachea that I'm looking at, and I can put in a timer. How much time do I want to give them? Hit save. I can go to quiz. Here I can type in the question that I want to ask. I can edit the question, edit the answer. You can put in a time limit to have that question answered. Click save there. And then the 3D recording. The 3D recording allows us to record our own voice and move the model at the same time. So just as an example, let me click record. Okay, everyone, I'm recording now. I'm going to talk about the trachea, which is a part of the respiratory tree here that you can see. It serves as a conduit for air to pass through, reaching all the way down to the alveoli sacs where gas exchange takes place. Let's focus in here, look inside the trachea, and I'll hit stop there. So just as an example, show you how the system captured my voice and movement as well. So I'm going to play this back. Okay, everyone, I'm recording now. I'm going to talk about the trachea, which is a part of the respiratory tree here that you can see. It serves as a conduit for air to pass through, reaching all the way down to the alveoli sacs where gas exchange takes place. Let's focus in here, look inside the trachea. Okay, so there's the 3D recording. A really great tool for educators, creators, and even students create their own lessons so they can put into their own words what they're learning, the content that they're learning, again, getting to that creation part, which really expedites that learning process. So once I click save there, I can come right back and add those annotations. You can see I added 4 teaching elements there in the trachea. So you come back here and I can repeat the process, or I can left click, add a label here. I can put a custom topic. So this could be a separate topic that I want to overlay that, and then I would be able to have all those teaching elements there tied to that topic. So just a little bit different, but very intuitive in how we can go from topic to topic and to really flush out those concepts per topic, add your own content, make it really easy for the lesson creator in this process. So I just want to touch on those steps. Another great enhancement, there's no save button. This is auto save. So as I'm working through the lesson, it will continually save. All I have to do is X out there, and this has already been saved. Let me click exit, and then it brings me right back to that lesson page area where I'll be able to share my content. Once I create it and go back, edit, I can play it as a viewer, I can open up a link here and share that with other people in my institution. I can even create a QR code and have anyone with a cell phone device come and scan this in. It takes them right into that lesson experience. We also can log in here and assign this to groups. So we're able to create a group structure to mirror your institution. And your group structure, your classes, departments, programs could be in this section. I could assign this to individual learners as well, and even make those learners co-editors of that experience. So within groups, how would we do that? How do we assign different groups? Let me pop right in here into the admin portal and show you some of the changes we have in the administrative side. So right now I'm in the admin. So we're the administrators of our institution. We're ready to launch learners. We have our list of users that are going to use the platform. So we've kind of rearranged this to make it very easy to use by different categories. We have the users. Simply have to click on here to add new users. Come up here and I can add it by one, or I can import this with a list of students and do a bulk upload into the system. So lots of ways we can look at that. And the group structure. So I just showed you that section where I can share lessons to groups. Well, this is where that section is being pulled in from, where you as an institution will be able to decide the structure, how you want to define your groups, what are those group names. This is where you'll map that out, which will immediately connect to that learner experience in terms of sharing content. Also the roles, which roles will you create? So we have lots of different role types that you can create here, and even click on this and you can define specific roles, and give privileges of what a student could do in the platform. What can a teacher do? So lots of great ways here. And as this is the marketplace where you'll be able to manage your credits. So as a lead admin, you'll have access to these reports, very detailed, and lots of enhancements here we have made over the last few upgrades, where you can track your balance of credits, who has requested credits. You have a credit report now by user, how many credits have been allocated to each user, any requests coming in, credits that have been allocated, and even clawback credits where you assign credits to someone. If they haven't used it, you can take it back. So lots of new ways here. You can really manage it and keep track of your credits as that lead admin. Then the reporting, you'll be able to track your licenses in this section, how many licenses you have in your program, how many have been used, how many are still open to be registered. And then you'll have your audit reports to track what are your learners doing in the system. You can look by date, by type, to get a complete report on the usage of the platform, and even export this into a CVS file. And then lastly, on the right here, you'll be able to do the LTI integration, a couple more configuration capabilities. But we've kind of rearranged this to make it just smoother and easier to use on the admin side. And pop right back in there. Great. So let me go back into the slides and show you some of the other enhancements that we talked about. And just kind of keep track here. You saw that smooth lesson interface that we have is much more responsive. You can move this around, and once you experience this on the cell phone, it's just really nice to look and feel to it. So that's the enhancement. And also let me put this in presentation mode. The visual qualities, as you saw there, very much improved due to that Unity engine being a part of that structure that we built our platform on. There's the physics-based rendering, which gives the real-time shadows, the HDR reflections, as you saw there on my desk as I moved that motor around. So that's a really great enhancements there that we saw. Here's another example of that here as an asset, and you saw how it can reflect off objects in the real world. So there's that yellow object on the right-hand side. As I move this asset in AR mode, I can see the reflection off that AR asset right there. So great enhancements. This is an environment that I'm projecting through my cell phone device. I'm actually in my backyard here, and I can overlay a kitchen, and you can see it's how transparent it is, but then I can come in here and create a whole lesson experience off this environment. As you can see, all the shadow effects are there, and it's much more realistic look and feel. Again, I'm on my cell phone device walking through this environment here. Here is another example of a PBR, physics-based rendering, off an environment So not only off an object, but now I'm in an environment. I can see those shadow effects, the light source, where that's coming from as I moved around this space. So great, lots of enhancements there in this side, just making the experience much more realistic and maintaining those engagement levels as I experience that lesson. Detailed admin pages, we saw those changes right there in 9.0, how we've kind of restructured that just to make it much more easy as we go, as we launch our program, as we activate learners, create our group structure, define roles, and very much an easy process. We've laid that out on those pages. But very excited to announce this is the EON-XR is available on the Oculus App Lab, which makes it very much easier to get access to find that EON app and download it through the Oculus App Lab store, and then it'll be available there through the Oculus headset. So much more easier experience to get that. And then once you're in here, lots of great enhancements that we've been through. The ability to access your institutional library and look at those assets. We've had intelligent annotations now. Here's an example of this. So I'll play this video. So you'll notice on the annotations as I open up the video, and I'll click on the annotations, then I'll spin this around, and you can see the annotations get bigger as it gets closer to me, and then smaller as it gets further away. So much more realistic experience as I learn about these parts and look at the different annotations that I'm learning. So that's a new enhancement you'll find using the Oculus. And here's a 3D environments. So not only what we saw before is what we call from a benchmark view. So there's space between us and the asset. But now with 3D environments, we're actually able to go inside of the environment. We can move around the space. There I can have my handheld clickers, all those interactive tools. So this is a hospital floor. It very much could be a factory floor, a lab. So I can do many different things within that environment. I can even back out of the environment, slice this in half, move to the left. I can hover up. So imagine in structures or buildings, I can go all the way up top and you just get a really good sense and feel of the environment, getting that psychology of presence involved in my lessons. So that's the 3D environments. I can change environments. We can maintain the same asset, but then change different environments in the background, just keeping that curiosity level really high in that engagement. Importing 3D assets, you saw the dashboard, makes it really easy to use. You can track the assets that you're importing into your institutional library. Lots of improvements into the loading speed, the different assets you can upload into your library. The marketplace dashboard makes it really easy to track your assets. Which ones have you purchased? How many credits do you have? Where is that in the process of uploading and selecting that? So in a playlist, so the ability to bring in a playlist, what we have here, and let me slide. I really like showing the playlist feature on the cell phone. So I'm going to access this. So imagine as you're creating lessons, maybe you want to create multiple lessons, one with a 360 image, one with a 3D model. You slide this right in here. So there's my cell phone device. I can go to a playlist, and maybe I want to do several lessons around architecture. Now I can have an architecture theme or topic. And within there, I can have several different micro lessons that all link up and roll up into this larger theme. So here's the Taj Mahal, the Tower Bridge, the Pantheon. And I can assign those lessons to my learners. So making it very easy to use and easy to get to, and students will know exactly what they're doing and how to get here. So those are the playlist features. XR meetings, so again, really great way, and there's been a lot of improvements over these last versions in terms of the speed, ease of use. Click on a video here if you haven't seen the XR meeting. So this will allow me to log into a lesson, and I go into that meeting section, and now open up a code that I can share with a colleague. So here I'm on my cell phone device, and I just open up a code. I'm sharing this with a colleague. My colleague is across the country in a different state, and he's going to log in, and then we're both going to be connected. So I just started a meeting with my cell phone device. My colleague is on the desktop. We can move the model independently. We can open up an audio component where we're talking to each other. We can hear each other. So there's an audio feature there. I can as a presenter, I can maybe mute the class as everyone logs in here as I present. I can even switch to a different modality and be in AR mode and see the presenter. Even the avatar of who's presenting will show up as they move around that object, so I know who's presenting, where are they looking at, and that will affect the vision of everyone who's logged into that environment. And also the desktop for Mac, and really big game changer with this one. So the Mac users, you're able to download that onto your Mac and begin editing and creating lessons through your Mac desktop. Well, great. Hopefully you'll be able to get a good view of what we've done with our platform and how we've made these upgrades in 9.0 from a learner point of view, from a teaching point of view, from content creation, publishing, again, every step of the process of importing assets to reporting on and tracking what people have done in our platform has been enhanced. And I believe you'll find these improvements really beneficial to you and your learners. So with that, I want to hand it over to my colleague, Karthik, who will give you a sneak peek of the AR Assist. And I'll just stop sharing.
Thank you, John. Okay, so I'm excited to introduce AR Assist to all of you today. So AR Assist is actually designed to be a part of EON-XR platform, and it will make use of most of the new features of EON-XR 9.0 version as well. So what it will do, it will actually assist the engineers and technicians who are on the field to connect to the experts that they need. And it will be delivered as a part of the EON-XR platform, and it will be available for all the EON-XR subscribers. So AR Assist will be a separate app, very similar to the EON-XR app. And once released, you'll be able to download it for iOS, iPadOS, Android devices. It will also be available for Hololens 2 as well. And it is available to download on the desktop as well. And later this year, we will also be releasing the support for macOS as well. Okay, so it's a quick video that we have created, a sneak peek of the AR Assist. It's not live yet, but we have created a small video to show you how it actually works. So the expert logs in using your EON-XR credentials, and you can actually either start a session or join a session. And you can see a start a session here, and the expert is able to share the room code as well, very similar to how we can share with the platform. And here, he just share it with the technician. The technician can see the QR code right on his smartphone, and he can just launch his AR Assist app. And here you can actually either scan with the QR code or with the room code as well. And that's it. Once he scans with the QR code, the login is done automatically, and he's in the session straight away. So what he can do, so he can actually view the EON-XR assets right in the AR Assist collaborative session itself, and these assets are shared in real time by the experts. So if you want to share a CAD drawing, if you want to share a scan model, you can actually do it straight away. So with the advantages of EON-XR platform, you can actually upload your own assets and just bring those assets right in the collaborative experience. You can also share other documents as well, such as images, PDFs, videos as well, as and when required. You can also do annotations. In this case, you can see the technician is actually annotating on his environment. You can also kind of point and locate as well. I'm going to take a quick step back here just to show you how it looks like. So AR Assist for the Hololens is designed to be completely hands-free. So in this case, what happens is the user will see all the menu right at its hand, and they can switch between the left hand and right hand, depends on what hand they prefer, and allows them to kind of utilize the tools and operate while they get the real-time assistance from the expert. And we have different modes. The technician can actually choose between drawing with his bare hand, or you can also kind of point to the equipment and kind of annotate on top of the equipment as well. And we also have an option to point with the arrows, or you can actually interact with the 3D models or images or videos or PDFs that were shared by the expert in real time. So, resolve critical issues or kind of do some project progress reviews as well. And the technician can share his camera view and he can actually kind of do that with HoloLens as well as a hands-free experience. Or in this case, if you can see, we can also do it with the smartphones and tablets as well. So with the power of EON-XR platform, the AR assist is completely cross-platform compatible. We can do annotations. Annotations can be done both by expert and the technician. So when the expert annotates, it will be on the technician's real-world environment. So let's say, for example, if the expert is actually kind of annotating on top of the equipment, it will stay there, it will stick. So in giving a much more contextual information right in front of the technician. We can also share documents such as images and PDFs, and we can also share the assets URLs from our EON-XR library as well. Very similar to how we shared the lesson as Jonathan showcased earlier. So you can actually just take that and then share it in the chat group. So our AR assist is cross-platform compatible. You can launch and share the EON-XR assets. You can do smart annotations. You can record the entire session for archiving purposes. You can also take screenshots of the technician camera view as well. And we also offer an opt-in service such as spatial anchors, where if you want to save the information in your real location, you can actually do that. And we also have computer vision to kind of do automated detection of objects, and all thanks to our the platform features of the new version. And AR assist is it's kind of offers complete privacy. We don't actually gather any user information. So, and if you can see, all it does is it allows you to connect to your expert, get some information in real time, and that's about it. So it's very easy to use app. It can be deployed on various devices, such as iPad, Android devices, desktop, and also for wearable devices such as HoloLens as well. So we are releasing the next version on July 12th, and it will be available for all the devices that I've mentioned now. So looking forward for all of you to trying it. Thank you. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna ask if anyone of you have any questions on the EON-XR platform. Please feel free to ask us.
Can you open up the chat here for see if any questions?
Yes. So John, I can see a few questions here. So one question that I can see from Dennis is where can I get a 101 level about using EON-XR as a teacher with middle school students?
101 level?
Yes.
Yeah, we can provide training resources, documents. We can, many of our institutions we work with, once we onboard an institution, we actually go through a very detailed training program, what we call the educator course. So this is a 4-hour session divided up into 2 days. We train everyone from teachers, the administrators, lesson designers, tech support, so that anyone involved in the whole process will go through a very detailed training session to learn how to design lessons using the app, how to design lessons using the desktop. And this serves as a certification workshop as well, where you go out and build your own lesson and then assign back that to us, and then we'll certify you as having passed the educator course. So after that, many of our institutionals that they've gone on to start creating their own lessons and go from there. So that initial training is what our institutions go through to begin designing and working with their tools.
Thank you, John. So we have Devin here who would like to ask a question. Hi, Devin. Yeah, you can please ask your question. Okay, I think seems like David is not yet ready. So,
okay.
So John, we'll move on to the next questions.
Okay.
So we have a question from Steve. So I have used Oculus Quest app. I've noticed that identify, locate, and quest are not working. Do you know when this will function in Oculus?
Okay, currently on Oculus, you can see the 3D recordings, the videos, you can see hear the audio and as well. You can perform some 3D assessment as well, but the lessons, the identify, locate are not there yet. I'll keep you updated as to with our product team and when and where when and if we add that to that Oculus experience. But you're right, as of now, that's not a part of that experience, but we'll definitely keep you updated on any changes we have on that side.
Good day, gentlemen. Can I contribute?
Oh, yes. Hi, David.
Hi, yes.
Hi. Okay, so I downloaded a new platform when it was launched, but it doesn't seem as though the function to create a 360 lesson is enabled. Is that going to be enabled anytime soon?
Okay, so the 360, we actually are running the what we call the classic version as of now. So on the new version, the 360 lesson is not available yet. We're still kind of that migration stage. So you can use the classic version, the 8.4, the 8.5, to create your 360 lessons.
Okay, I did try the classic version, and I've uploaded most of my videos. So it's 360 videos. I took on 2 different cameras. I have the GoPro Max camera and the Insta360 Pro 2 camera. And usually when I export my files, I export obviously in the highest quality. I try to go to 4K video to meet YouTube standards, meaning their export settings. I think they take H.264, 265. I kind of Google that before I thinking. And then the height and width standards, just to meet their 4K standards, as well as my audio recordings. However, and now it shows perfectly well on YouTube. However, when I created it on the classic version, it does show up with a line. It seems as though it's a stitch line. But I know it's not the stitch line because I use the Insta360 Pro 2 camera, which has 6 lenses. So therefore it should have 6 stitch lines, but it actually shows up as 2 stitch lines. So it seems as though something is going off with the old version. So I was hoping that maybe that might have been resolved with the new version. Any words on that?
Okay, no, we are doing a lot of cleaning up some bugs that we find, and that's something we could definitely look into. If you can send me a screenshot of what you're seeing, there's like a stitch line there. You can send me an email with a screenshot there, and I can definitely contact our support team and take a look at that. Okay.
And the final question I have for the evening. So we also did try to create some 3D, import our own 3D assets that was created by one of our content creators. He started off using SolidWorks, and he exported in the standard SolidWorks file. And I know that sometimes you have to take it out when it's in the zip file, there's a sub file, and then you have to take out all the things. So I did do that. I tried it both ways. Again, no luck with it. And we also tried using AutoCAD. Again, no luck with it. But when we did import like a regular, so I went online and I got one of just a random object, which is a .obj file, and that seems to be the only one that's being accepted under this new version. Any clarification is, even when you use the file converter, so sometimes you use a SolidWorks file and you use a file converter to transfer it to a .obj file, but it takes away all the color grading and stuff, so you just kind of get a black and white object. Any guidance on that? What I may be doing wrong, or is it a system? Is it still bugs that you all are clearing? I don't know.
So, John, can I answer this?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead, Karthik.
Okay, sure. So apologies for the inconvenience caused, Devin. So, I did try to import various SolidWorks files, and, I was able to import it properly. So most of the time, the issue with the cloud conversion would be on the source file itself. So because we know that, our cloud conversion, what it does, it automatically kind of reads the file and then converts it into GLTF so that you can actually use it, for creating the lessons as well. So since you're actually having some issues, my request is use our support forum to raise a query. So what we can then be able to do it is we will be able to kind of, look at it and help you to kind of, guide you, what are the best practices in, optimizing the source files before uploading into the platform.
Okay. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So it's good that we have a lot of questions, John.
Yeah, great.
Yes. So I think I'll start off, by picking up a few questions, if that's okay, and you can actually answer them. Yeah.
Okay.
And in the meantime, if anyone would like to ask questions, please, raise your hand, and we are happy to answer you. Okay, so this again is a question from Steve. So, and he has two questions. One is, how does I button on the right of the memo box work?
I button on the right of the box.
Yeah.
That little button where it sets the position of the asset.
Yeah.
When a learner is going to look at it, so you actually can set where do you want the asset to appear and how you want to position it when the learner goes back and goes through your lesson.
Yes, that's actually one of the cool new features that we added. So you can actually kind of change exactly where you would like to point to. So you can just kind of select that and able to move it out around. So other question, John, is what happened to being able to change the order of lesson elements? I can no longer do this in V9.
Oh, move it. Yeah, move it up or down. You're right. Yeah, and if you have a comment on that.
Yeah. Yes. So the ability to move the lesson elements up and down, I think it will be coming soon. I think we are actually it's not available in the current version, but we are actually launching another minor release 9.1 soon, and it will actually have that enabled. We'll be able to kind of reorder the lesson elements in that. Okay, so we have a question from Luke Raj and from Malaysia. So does EON have user forum to share ideas with other users? So
you always can contact us at our support to share any ideas you have with our product team. We do escalate these ideas back to our engineers, our product teams, and we're always looking for feedback from our side of Karthik. Is there other ways we can interact with the learners with ideas or comments?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, John. So we have a question from Mohammad Farid. So after we create a lesson, can we create a SCOM file to upload externally for training?
Oh, so the question was, can we export the file for training?
Yeah, a SCOM file.
SCOM file, a SCOM file.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think currently we can't do that. Farid, but it's actually very good suggestion. So we will check internally and we'll get back to you if we can enable that in the future. Okay, so and Ari also has a question. So same as Farid's question, how could we combine this with an LMS?
Okay, with an LMS, great question. So we are able to integrate into an LMS through an LTI integration. So that's the key process there. And that would work when a learner logs into your LMS. We establish a link, an LTI link. And when the learner clicks on that link for the first time, it auto creates a login account on the EON side. So through a single sign-on process, you're able to create a login ID on the EON where a learner will only have to log in with their LMS credentials.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so we have a question from Burden. So this is on ARSS. So which glasses can we use with ARSS? So it's a good question. Currently, we support HoloLens 2. So and we do have a plan in the future to support other glasses as well. But for now, in the next version that we're releasing on, we will support for HoloLens 2 along with support for iOS, Android devices, and desktop as well. Okay, so we have another question from Martin Ferguson. So what are the bandwidth requirements when two users are interacting remotely?
Would this be in an XR meeting?
Yes, yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can add this to Karthik, and we work with the speed of the internet that you use in terms of if it's the fast internet speed, it's going to work faster. If it's slower, it still works. It's very much like accessing YouTube and looking at a video. Sometimes it goes faster, sometimes slower, but it still works. So we are working at the speed of the internet.
Yeah, that's correct. So our connectivity adapts to the network that is available. Yeah. And so if and we would actually recommend to actually have at least 100 Mbps network so that you can actually have a streamless collaborative experience. Okay, so we have a question from Ezekiel Yuan. Is all contents stored on the cloud? Can it be based on a local server? So
yeah, all the contents are stored on the cloud. We work with Amazon Web Services. That's where structure is built on, and that is cloud-based. So all the content you see, the assets you upload, everything on there is actually linked to your institution. So it is very secure through Amazon Web Services, and it's all cloud-based.
Yes. Yeah. We do have an option though for the smartphones where you can actually download the lesson to make it available offline. So in cases, if you are in locations where internet connectivity is not there, so that's actually a very handy feature that's available in our EON-XR app.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a question from James Isoli. In the old version, there's a limit in creating lessons where it is free. Is it the same in the new version? So the limit for creating free lessons.
Okay, I believe the limit was five lessons in the freemium version. I'll have to check on that, but I believe it's the same. Yeah,
I think so as well. I think it's the same. So yeah, but Mr. JBs, we'll check and we'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
Okay, I'll move on to the next question. It's from Martin again. So, do you find that when using EON-XR is most readily used for flipped classroom teaching rather than during face-to-face teaching when it can disrupt the lesson flow?
So, good question. There's so many ways to use EON-XR. We could have a whole session on this, but that's a really interesting point you brought up. Again, flip the classroom, a lot of obvious applications there. Thinking about before the classroom or even during the classroom, I've seen many institutions use this as a way for students to bring their lessons to class, gather in small groups and present to each other, maybe put an AR object, a 3D model in AR and put it into the class, have students gather around it. So it could be a collaborative experience. It could be an individual experience. Even it could be linked into your current LMS environment in so many different ways. They're thinking about maybe creating a pre-class activity that is linked into your LMS through a QR code. Then learners in your LMS environment will be able to scan a code in, go in, explore a 360 image, and then come back to your LMS and continue your work. So it can be used as bite-sized chunking content where you can put it in different places. It can be used as more of a flushed out lesson. But yeah, lots of different applications here. So you're right in flip the classroom, but there's a lot of different ways as you can apply this as well.
Thank you, John. So we have a question from Cordruta, Florina. So is it possible to track the class attendance and the progress of students on viewing the lessons?
Yes, you'll be able to see who has logged in, the usage on a per user basis. So on these reporting tools, you'll be able to see your entire list of users, what's the usage like, and you'll be able to search by different time frames, by a weekly, monthly, or daily report. So absolutely, yes, you'll be able to track what learners have done inside these lessons.
Yes. And we have a question from Ramesh. It's a very interesting question. So how is assemble and object learning enabled? Can that be related to an actual live demo carried out on an object in a lab?
Object learning enabled. Okay, the assemble on an object enabled. Okay, so the objects you see, such as mode, it can be disassembled and reassembled together. That was built prior to uploading that model to EON. So that's built at the 3D modeling stage, where they've coded in the way it disassembles, the different layers and the hierarchies. So all that comes with that model. And then once it's in a lesson, that's where we can use the way it disassembles in our lessons. So it comes at that model level, the way it disassembles. But yeah, that's a good question. I don't know, Karthik, you have any other comments on that?
Yes, you are right, John. So, if you can design that assembly sequence in the modeling software, so we can actually use that. And, and we can actually use the AR mode, and, we can turn on the X-ray mode to kind of overlay the 3D model directly on top of the actual component to gives a contextual experience for the, for the users. So, we also have build, right, a mode in our platform as well. So you can actually kind of try to build. but it doesn't actually tell you the step-by-step guided, but at least it will actually give the experience for the students to learn how to, bring various components together. So that is also possible as well. So good question, Ramesh. Okay, so I'll move on to the next question from Mark. Once we log into our account, we just go to downloads to get the update. Oh, I think it's not a question. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay. So we have a question from Ajay. So we don't have an option to download. We don't have an option to upload recorded audio file in version 9 as we had in the old version. So yeah, that is correct. So we don't have the version to upload the audio files in the new version. Okay. We have a question from Michael. Jon, so when will meetings be available for the Oculus?
Meetings in the Oculus multi-user sessions. We'll keep you updated as to when that is available. Again, there are a lot of new enhancements coming out and moving our engine over to Unity, but a lot of new enhancements will come out, these new versions later on, 10.0, and very exciting stuff. But I'll keep that and be sure to update you when that comes out.
Okay, thank you, Jon. So we have the last question. Do students have to download the EON-XR app to participate in a lesson, or can they just use the join code or QR code to view lessons?
Okay, so the QR code, you would need the app. As you saw, there's different ways we can share a lesson. You can share it within your institution. You also can share it outside of your institution by creating a QR code. In that specific scenario, you would just need the app. You would not need a login ID. So you just point the camera, aim that, and it scans it in. It takes you right into the lesson. So you have that option to share it within in your institution or even outside of your institution.
Thank you, Jon. So we do have questions coming up. So new questions coming up, and I think this will be the last question that we would actually take it. So is the option to upload audio to memos coming? This was a function in V8. So do you know, Jon, will it be coming, the option to upload audio files?
Audio files. Yeah, I know we've gotten that request, and currently it's not a feature there on the 9.0, but that's something that we've gotten requests, and I guarantee you we have brought that up with our product team. So be on the lookout for that. So once it does come out, we'll let you know.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, Jon. I think that's all the questions that we have from our participants today. So thanks a lot, everyone, for joining in, and thank you for raising all your questions. So please feel free to download our app. It's available on the App Store and Play Store today. So you can actually download it, and please reach out to us using our feedback forum if you would like to get any further assistance from us. So thank you. Thanks a lot for all your time today.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for taking the time. We've got people from all around the world, but appreciate your dedication into learning more about our products and in the 9.0 version and AR Assist. Thank you, Karthik, for showing those updates. So everyone have a great day, and then definitely reach out to us if you have any questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Jon.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.